Here's your WNEM TV5 news update.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Elise Ramey. Here's a look at the top stories we're following today. Life without the possibility of parole. That's the sentencing given to Mark Latunski for the murder and mutilation of 25-year-old Kevin Bacon. Latunski pleaded guilty to killing and mutilating Bacon in December of 2019. Bacon's body was ultimately found in the basement of Mark Latunski's Bennington Township home after going missing on Christmas Eve. Latunski met Bacon through a dating app. When police found Bacon's body, Latunski admitted he killed and ate part of his body. Several of Bacon's family members submitted statements that were read during the sentencing. All three men convicted of aiding the leader in the plot to kidnap Governor Gretchen Whitmer have received a sentencing. Paul Beller was sentenced to 7 years, Joe Morrison to 10, and Pete Musico was given a 12-year prison sentence. The three men were convicted in October of providing material support for a terrorist act after forging an early alliance with the leader of the scheme. Morrison, Musico, and Beller were members of a paramilitary group known as the Wolverine Watchmen. This trial in state court was separate from a prosecution in federal court where two leaders, Adam Fox and Barry Croft Jr., were convicted of a kidnapping conspiracy. Investigators are looking into a deadly fire in Saginaw County. It happened yesterday afternoon at a home on South Fenmore Road in Chapin Township. A neighbor told the Saginaw County Sheriff's Office they heard an explosion, walked outside and saw smoke coming from the garage. They found a man's body inside. He's been identified now as 86-year-old Albert Trujillo. No word yet on the cause of that fire. Now here's Matthew with a look at the forecast.
Thank you, Elise. We are tracking a much quieter Thursday afternoon. It was fairly active as we started off the daytime. Rain, snow, ice moved through the area. We're really just looking at cloud coverage for the remainder of today. And actually high temperatures, they'll be back up above freezing. So any slushy or icy spots still remaining, those will just continue to melt. So really not looking at any major roadway impacts for the remainder of this Thursday. So it's just that cloud coverage that holds on. Not going to rule out a flurry or two near central Michigan. And once we head into tonight, there's a slightly better chance a few isolated snow showers could move through the central Michigan region, but otherwise we're looking fairly dry through tonight. And as you start off your Friday, it is by Friday afternoon and evening though where we see some scattered lake effect snow showers picking back up again. And that'll be the case through the weekend. Much more lake effect on the western side of the state, but some of that spilling over into our viewing area. That'll start to wrap up by Sunday morning. And once we head towards Sunday evening, just when everything is all said and done, only looking at around an inch or less for our area, but that's across the entire weekend too. So really not talking a lot of snow. Might be able to see some grassy accumulations, especially in our northern counties as well. The bigger story is into next week, though. We are looking at quite a solid sign of some below average temperatures. That puts highs in the 20s for next week, lows in the teens. We officially start winter on Wednesday of next week, too. But one thing worth noting is that any snow that we pick up over the weekend, very likely we'll be able to see it stick a little bit easier and maybe even last into next week, just given the colder weather that's on the way.
Remember to tune into WNEM TV5 on air and online 24/7 for the latest news, weather, and information.